Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where today we have a rule set for you that I have never seen before. It's called Quadrank Arrows. It's by Phil the Hat, and this has a rare distinction at the moment. It has a perfect rating on Logic Masters Germany. I think this was also created. We're getting inundated actually with recommendations to do with Skojo's recent Imposter series, where, if I understand correctly, so I think this puzzle was Phil the Hat impersonating the style of the peddling pianist, and then people had to vote on whether they thought this puzzle or the peddling pianist's puzzle was actually by the peddling pianist. And anyway, this is apparently lovely, and I've read the rules, and unlike yesterday, I don't now have to have a large brandy. Yesterday's puzzle, which took me an hour and 40 minutes to solve, was an extraordinary endeavour, oddly even just breaking my brain. One of the most extraordinary puzzles I've ever solved in my life. I hope this will be the same, but the delight about this one is that the rules are much simpler, and I will read them to you in a moment or two's time. Just 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty as well, so hopefully it won't be an hour and a half video, but we'll see. We don't know yet. Now I have loads of news for you today, some of which, if you're a puzzle fan, I think is genuinely exciting. We've got 2 bonus videos coming up for you. One tomorrow, in which Mark solves a new puzzle set for us by Jane Street, so that's coming at 10 AM UK time tomorrow. And then on Tuesday, we have got a bonus video where I solve some puzzles by the great Japanese behemoth company Nikoli, who have a new website. So that's coming on Tuesday morning at 10 AM. What else? Well, yesterday, the apps. Our new apps finally came out. This is genuinely so cool. So those of you who don't know, we're releasing these things we're calling them Sudoku worms, and it allows us to release collections of puzzles by some of your favourite authors. We've already released one by Marty Sears, we've released one by James Sinclair, we have now released one, you can see it here, by Phistomefel and Juggler, and they are now out on all platforms. We had a bit of a problem yesterday getting them released on Android, but that has been fixed. They are now released. Go and get them. They're exceptional, well, all I can say is that I hope you guys enjoy playing these puzzles as much as Mark and I enjoyed testing the puzzles. They are absolutely phenomenal. There's been a few upgrades to the UI as well to allow you to draw lines in the grid. Not saying you need to, just saying that is there. So our new apps are out. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen, but I'll probably forget. But you should know where they are. And if you go to the way it works nowadays is that you get the basic Cracking the Cryptic app, which is free. You just download that on your phone, and then you can get these extra worm apps from within that app. So we had to do that a few years ago for reasons that elude me still. Anyway, that's that. What else? Over on Patreon, you've still got 3 days left to crack the Back to the Future Sudoku hunt by Blobs. Let's do a quick recap on how we're doing as far as 861 has gone to. Will it get to 900? No, but nearly, very nearly at 2,000 solves of the first puzzle. A phenomenal solving to one and all, and still plenty of time left actually. Even if you haven't started the hunt, 3 days is no problem. Who was it yesterday who managed to finish it on a flight to Budapest? And I didn't get the impression it was a transatlantic flight. I want to say Alex and maybe Christina, but I might have got that wrong, and apologies if I've misremembered. Yeah, so that's over on Patreon. There's soon going to be a whole series of videos as well of my attempt to solve a recent listener puzzle called Spider by Sabre, but I won't speak more about that now, but that's coming soon as well. And I've got 2 birthdays to do today. We'll start off by Aladim over in Saudi Arabia. Aladim apparently loves the videos, but hasn't done too much solving as yet. Well, that's all to come. once you get the hang of the puzzles, once you get used to the way of thinking, you're going to have a new hobby for life, Aladdin. Thank you very much for watching the channel. I hope you have some great chocolate cake today. And then also, another birthday today is for Boris. And Boris is over in Israel and has been watching since 2017. Now, if that's true, Boris, you are one of the early adopters of Cracking the Cryptic, because we only started making videos in that year, and I think it was June we released the first Cracking the Cryptic video. Don't go and watch it. I mean, I'm not saying the production quality is very high nowadays. It really isn't. We're very much, two middle-aged men trying to make do in this technological world. But in those days, it was truly bad. It was truly bad that we didn't have specialist microphones. We didn't. We were told, don't let your personalities out. I mean, really, we shouldn't let our personalities out of the bag now either. But we're very stilted. And hopefully we've improved a little bit since then. But anyway, Boris told us that the videos have helped through tough times. I'm pleased to hear that. And since 2017, he's finished engineering school, got a good job. He and his wife have bought an apartment. His wife has got a great job, and the two of them are expecting a baby. This was the cake that they used to tell their families that they were expecting a baby. Now that's quality. I mean, I know it doesn't look like chocolate cake, but it's still an absolutely quality cake. And I think this picture as well is very, very cool, with the heart there. And I think yesterday, Boris and his wife were finding out what sex their baby was. So do let us know. Hopefully that'll be a new viewer for Cracking the Cryptic in due course. And Boris, many happy returns for today. Well, it looks like, I don't know how old that cake was, but that looked very delicious. Anyway, that's all the news. Let's have a look at Quadrank Arrows by Phil the Hat. The rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Now, we've got something called Quadrank Arrows. Each circle has a value equal to the 4 digits around the clue arranged in ascending order. E.g., if the 4 digits were 4, 3, 6, 4. Let's put that in. 4, 3, 6, 4. Then the value of the circle would be 3, 4, 4, 6. Yes, because we go in ascending order. So 3, 4, 4, 6. Okay, so that would be 3,446. Then what we have to do is a really unique rule set this. We have to assign each circle a rank according to its value's position in a list of all of the circle's values. The lowest rank would have rank 1. The next lowest would have rank 2, etc. Place each circle's rank into the cell at the tip of the arrow emerging from that circle. NB. Clues with the same value would have the same rank and would have the same digit in the tip of their circle's arrow. Okay, so that makes some sort of sense to me. So, I mean, I don't think any of those could have the same rank because they're all in the top row. They're all going to be different digits. But let's say that one, that couldn't have the same rank as those two because those would mirror. But that could have the same rank as that one, couldn't it? I think. And there's only one more rule, which says digits in a cage sum to the given total. So, in fact, yeah, none of these cages can have a repeated digit because of Sudoku rules. So we don't even need a rule about that. Isn't that a bizarre rule? So basically, we're going to have to rank. We're going to have to work out what the equivalent value is. So if you look at those cells, you're going to have to arrange them in order low to high to give a 4-digit number that's going to give you the rank of this circle vis-a-vis all the other circles, and then you write that rank in there. That's what we've got to do. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I'm going to start there. Is that alright? I can do that. That's a 1. That 8 cage is now either 2-6 or 3-5 because it can no longer be 1-7. A 7 cage has to be 1-2-4. I'm steering clear of these arrows for the time being. Oh, actually, there's a little trick we can do there. Look, so I will do the trick. The triangular number for 5, which i.e. what's the sum of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5? Well, it's 15. And 8 plus 7 is 15. So those cells have to... Oh, whoopsie, whoopsie. What on earth has happened there? So these digits have to be the digits 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. It's the only way that these 5 cells will add to 15. And there must be a 1 in a 3-cell 8 cage, so we can allocate a 1 there, we can allocate a 1 there. So we can ask where 1 goes in column 3, look. It can't go here anymore, and it can't go there, and it can't go in the top row, so it's in one of 2 places. There's got to be a 1 in that 8 cage. Oh dear, I'm running out of things to think about now. I suppose... Yeah, I mean, actually, I don't normally like to do this, but these digits are both quite high, in the sense they can't be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, so I will give those a little pencil mark. They have to be at least 6, don't they? And this certainly can't be a 9 here, because then this would be a 0, so this digit's quite a low digit. And, oh, I was going to say it can't be 1, that's not true at all. We don't know where the 1 is in that 8 cage. And this digit is at least 6, so the maximum sum of this domino is 7. Which I don't think I can do anything with that. Oh dear. So now we're stuck. We're going to have to think about the circles, aren't we? How are we going to do that? Well... Oh, I see. Okay, I can start thinking about the circles. Because there must be a circle that is the lowest ranking circle, the rank 1 circle. Which one's that? This one in the corner. Sorry, I should have started here, but I was nervous about how the rule would work. But I think this one sees all arrow tips, except this one. So this must be a 1. Therefore that is not a 1. This is not a 1. Ah, we'll get to place the 1 in the 8 cage. No, we don't quite get to place the 1 in the 7 cage, but 1 is now in one of these 2 squares. Oh. Hang on. Okay, that's very interesting. 1 in box 2 is in one of those cells. Yeah, this actually I really like this already. Because this is beautiful. This is actually really beautiful. Look at this circle, the circle surrounding that contains those green cells. Now there are 2 1s in these cells. So the number, the 4-digit number that's going to be represented is going to be 11XX. Now that's a very small number. And we know that this is not the smallest number. This arrow is the smallest number here. So this must have a 1 around it. Well, no, let's be precise. It must have 2 1s around it in order to be lower than this one. And that means there's a 1 in one of those cells, which means this is a 1. This is a 1 by Sudoku. And what does that mean then? It's quite an interesting rule, this. It's really weird. Oh, well, I tell you something now. That can't be a 9, because that would require this to be a 1-3 pair. Oh, ooh, actually, there's another thing there. This can't be an 8 either, because how could we make this domino sum to 5? If this is 8, this has to sum to 5, and it couldn't be 1-4, and it couldn't be 2-3 without breaking this cell. So that is not 8. This is 6 or 7. Now, if it's 7, then we don't know. I think it's either 2-5 or 3-4. And if it's 6, it's going to... Oh, sorry, if this domino sums to 7, that is. If this domino sums to 6, it's got to be 2-4. And then this would be a 3. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this can't be an 8, actually, because that would require this to be a 1. Ah, so I've got a 6-7 pair now in box 7, so those two squares have got to be 8 and 9. There's a small point about this cell that might be worth making. If we look at those 3 digits there, one of these is a 2 or a 3, because these two cells have to add up to 7. So they're either a 2-5 pair or they're a 3-4 pair. So this cell can't be 1, 2 or 3. So it's at least 4. So it's 4 or 5. It can't be 6, because then this would be a 1. And we know there's 2 1s around that clue there. So this square is a 2 or a 3. Now, what does that mean? Well, okay. So look at row 8 now, because we know one of these cells is a 4 or a 5, and that's a 4 or a 5. So these, yeah, that's really interesting. No jokes about me at parties. No jokes. They're too depressing. These cells are the digits 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 in row 8. So these digits are the digits 6, 7, 8 and 9. I don't know if that's going to matter, but it's something that we've noticed. Now, what do we do next then? So, I don't know actually. It's almost certainly the circles, because I haven't given them very much thought yet. Well, hang on. I know that's the smallest number, because it's rank 1, but I know this is jolly small. Does that have to be rank 2, or is that not true? How could we get to get it can't be rank 1, because there's a 1 already looking at this cell. So this is definitely bigger than this. If it's not rank 2, there has to be another circle that can have 2 1s around it. That one can't have 2 1s. No, you can't. And you can't, yes, you can't do that with any circle that is entirely within one box. It has to span 2 Sudoku boxes to have 2 1s around it. So which ones are those? That one, that one, that one, and that one. So it has to be one of those that could have 2 1s around it, and none of the others can. This one can, this one can, this one can't, and this one can't by Sudoku. So this is rank 2, I'm going to claim. Which means this cell is not a 2, which means this cell is not a 5. And we've got to make sure that whatever we put into this green square, let's give this a colour as well, this orange square has to contain its two other digits, have to sort of beat those two other digits so that this is higher. Oh dear, I don't know what to do now. It's not this 11, I don't think it is that 11 cage. That 11 cage is either 3-8 or 5-6. It can't be 2-9 or 4-7. Okay. Where do you think we look now? Actually, I know what it might be. Because yeah, no, here's a thought. In fact, I'm having a flurry of thoughts now. Yeah, how many? There are only 9 Sudoku digits, and there are way more than 9 circles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, there are 12 circles. So, because we can only allocate a maximum of 9 ranks, some circles are definitely going to contain exactly the same composition as other circles, so that they can share a rank with them. And that's going to have to be a surprising number, isn't it? 12, 11, 10. Yeah, there's going to have to be at least 3 duplicates. Yeah, and we do know that there is a rank. Hang on, I was going to say we do know there's a rank 9. There is a rank 9 digit, because I was thinking if say 5 of the arrows had the same rank and that rank was rank 3, then you wouldn't actually need there to be a rank 9 number in the puzzle. But there is a rank 9 number because one of these digits in row 1 is a 9. Now, so does that have to have a 9 on its... Oh no, hang on, that's not how it works, is it? I was thinking, does the rank 9 arrow or rank 9 circle have to have a number beginning with 9? But no, it doesn't, because the numbers are arranged in ascending order. Oh, that's weird. Okay, so... yeah, okay, so I don't know what to do with that. This is a very cool rule set, actually. It's really interesting. In at the moment a slightly baffling way. So there's a 9 in the top row, and it's going to have some digits on its arrows that can be arranged in ascending order such that they are higher than any other. So the lowest digit around that rank 9 circle is going to have to be at least as high as the lowest digit in the rank 8 circle, and possibly higher. I'm not sure what I can do with that. And it's also weird when you see this emerging from this circle. I want to add these up, but I don't think that's relevant at all, is it? All we're doing is saying that the size of that is, we rank it and then we put the rank there. So the arrow, yeah, this rule set could have longevity, I think, because you could get some mad arrangements with circles and arrows. All right, let's try and do more Sudoku. Can we do any more Sudoku? What about, how many 1s have I put in the grid? I've put 5 in. Oh, I've put 5 in and I've marked 4 others, so that's not going to be it. I don't think I know what this is, do I? If that's 7, these are definitely 2, 4. That is true. That would be 3. So if that's 7, 2, 4, 3, 6. If that's 6, these then add up to 7. which would mean what exactly? We'd need a 2 or a 3, wouldn't we, in that congregation? So there is sort of a virtual 2-3 pair there. Ah. That's weird. Okay, this is not. Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. I don't know. There's definitely a different way of seeing what I've seen here, but I can't see what it is quickly. That is not a 2-5 pair adding up to 7. Because if this is adding up to 7, we know this is a 6. But if that's a 2-5 pair, that's a 3, and therefore that's a 6 to make the 9 arrow work, and you get 2 6s there. So that's not 2-5. So, okay, right. So this is either a 2-4 pair on the basis that this is a 7, or it's a 3-4 pair on the basis that this is a 6, and we need this to add up to 7 in the only way left that it can, because it can't be 1 6, and we've just shown it can't be 2 5. So that's a 2 3 4 triple in box 8, and actually in row 9 as a 2 3 4 triple as well. Oh no, come on. Then. Okay. So these digits are not 1, 2, 3. So those are high digits as well, which might be relevant. He says, desperately trying to work. I mean, that's a whopping old number, that is, isn't it? Because the smallest number on that in this quadruple here is 5, assuming there is a 5 in there. So that feels interesting. I mean, doesn't this have to be an enormous number? Doesn't that? It might have to be 9, but I think it's got to be quite big. If this was... If that is... I keep doing this the wrong way round, you know. I think that's part of the problem. I keep trying to arrange these to make the biggest number I can, and that's not the rule. The rule is I've got to take the smallest number, and that's the 1000 digit. So this is not 9876 or something like that. It's definitely not that. Yes, I'm not sure. It might be that I'm meant to think about... I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be small digits. That's where I should focus. I'm slowly learning. Because... Yes, that's much more sensible. Right. Because anything that has a 1 in it... for example, this circle has a 1 in it. And that 1 is going to provide the 1000 digit. So that's a really small circle. It must be. This must be a really small circle. Yes, that must be a really small circle. So, I mean, this is an extra small circle because it has 2 1s in its makeup. But that has 1 1. And, yeah, so where are the circles that correspond to a 4-digit number that begins with a 1? And we know exactly where they are. They are there, and there. There are 3 of them. And every other circle must be a bigger rank than these 3 numbers. Now, that I was about to say, well, therefore, these are the numbers 3, 4, and 5, but they might repeat ranks, which is really annoying. But, okay, if they don't repeat, those are the numbers 3, 4, 5. But if they do repeat, Well, these two can't repeat. That's impossible, isn't it? Oh, I tell you what, these are 3 and 4, actually. Because if they weren't, imagine one of these was a 5. That would imply that in this row, there was a lower ranked number than the rank 5, which was one of these, and whose number began with a 1, 1xxx, and that, well, there are no other such numbers in the puzzle. Certainly not in any of these circles, because there aren't any 1s in them. So that's not possible. So it's definitely true to say this is a 3-4 pair. Now that doesn't mean that this... I don't think we know anything about this. Probably. I'm not sure about... Oh, look, yeah, there are things going on now, though. Yeah, I've got a 2-3-4 triple in column 4, the 2 of which is here, so this isn't a 2 anymore. One of these is a 4. And here? Yes. Oh, yeah, maybe. Look at column 2. I've got a 3-4, a 2-4, a 2-3-4, and a 2-3-4-5. In fact, simpler, I've got a 2-3-4 triple. So this is a 5. That's huge. Right, that gets us started. 2-4. This is now 3-4 to add up to 7. This square is now a 3, so that's a 6, that's a 7. This has to add up to 6, so that is a 2-4 pair after all this. That 3 means this is 4. That's now 3. That's 3. That's 4. This is not 3. So this is not 8. This is not 6, actually. So this isn't 5. Now, 4 here. I can keep going with Sudoku, that fair-weathered friend that so rarely comes to my rescue, at least. That's what it feels like. 4 there, 3 there. This is not a 2, so that's not 6. I was thinking that added up for 7 for some nonsense reason. Right. 4 in box 5 is actually placed, look. It's in the 8 cage, so that's 4, that's 3, this isn't 3, so this isn't 5. 4 in row 5 is placed, it's got to be there, so there's a 4 up here. This is a 1-4 pair in box 1. That 3's lovely. That means this is a 5. So that's a 6. So these cells are 7, 8, 9. And there's definitely a 7 in this domino at the top of column 2. Now, can we keep this going? We've got some massive ranks to put in along row 1. This cell is 3 or 5 now. How does that work with, oh goodness, if this was rank 5, we've got the rank 2 number is 114 and then something else. And that something else is at least a 5. So this is a number like 1145. The rank... Oh, hang on, I've got a problem now, haven't I? Actually, I'm not sure. It might be fine. The rank 3 number is not that small. It's 14, and then if we minimize these, it would be 1478. Can that be one? Maybe that can be 1478, actually. Sorry, I hadn't realised that. And then if this is 5, it's got to be bigger than this number. And this number we don't know anything about at all. I don't think I'm actually not sure. Those two digits are Sudokuable. They are an 8-9 pair. 3 can be placed in this box, so that's a 7. This is a 2, that's a 6. Oh, I thought I was going to get this one, but I don't. Bobbins. Okay, so what do I need in row 5? 5, 8, 9. Okay, that's not resolved. At least I don't think it is. What am I meant to do here? Do we think it's Sudoku? Actually, I tell you what I might do, and I know this is slightly odd, but I'm going to do that just to try and make myself concentrate on the fact that all of these circles are quite large. They might not actually be quite large, but they've got to be giving rise to highly ranked digits. That can't be a 7, look. Actually, I don't know very much about many of these. This is fascinating. It really is fascinating. Okay. There is a 3 in one of those two cells, which is quite a low digit. There's a 2 in... yeah, see, it's almost worth noting that, because this circle here now has, it doesn't have a 1 around it, but it does have 2 and 3, which are presumably quite low in the context of everything that we can possibly think of. You know, just in the panoply of Sudoku numbers, 2 and 3, once 1 has gone away, they're as low as you can get. You could think is maybe you can put 2 2s around that one or something. Oh, what's going on in the bottom row? There's some thingies going on. So this digit is 5, 6, 8 or 9. Just Sudoku tells us that. What about that 13 cage? It's not got 4 in it, so it's not 4, 9. Right, so it's either 5, 8 or 6, 7. And you can see that that digit's therefore 5 or 6. That's 7 or 8. And unfortunately, that doesn't seem to help us. Hang on. Hang on, that is a 1-2 pair. That's a new piece of information. And this is the smallest number, isn't it? So we do have to be a tiny bit careful to make sure... yeah, this has got 1, 1, 2. Yeah, okay, so this one I can see is definitively lower than this one, because this one contains 1, 1 and 2, and this one contains 1, 1 and not 2, because the 2 can't go here. So this is definitely bigger, given we're arranging the numbers in ascending order. So this digit now, which is the rank of this one, is 5, 7, 8 or 9, I'm going to claim. And this is so going to be 9. It's so going to be 9. But the funny thing is, if it is 9, then it takes 9 off. That's weird, actually. Yeah, if it's 9, if the rank of this is 9, you can't put... yeah, but I'm doing it again. I'm trying to arrange the number top down. I'm so daft. I'm so daft. Right. Okay, where is 6 in row 7? I don't know. It's in one of those cells, though. So it's not in either of those cells. So normally we'd now sum this arrow, but we're not doing that. Yeah, these digits are massive as well, aren't they? 5, 6, 8, 9. So what do we know about that then? If that was rank 9, then these digits would be 5, 6, 7, 8. And then that would have to be 9 as well. No, it wouldn't. Or would it? Maybe it would. Maybe it, well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure actually. I know exactly what I'm doing in my brain. I can't stop my brain doing it. I keep arranging the numbers. Like if I see 9 in here, I keep saying, oh, that's good, because that means I've got a massive number. But of course you haven't. It's only the small numbers that matter. Right, so how do we do this then? So hang on. So which, I know that I know this number here, its minimum size is 5, 6, 7, 8. That's its minimum size. So what quadruples can beat that? Maybe that's a different way we can approach the question. Which quadruple can beat 5, 6, 7, 8? That's an interesting question. This one can't. That has a 3 on it. So assuming it doesn't have a 2 on it, it doesn't beat that. This one has a 2 on it. That's no use. This one has a 1 on it. So none of these are beating this one. That's rank 3, so that doesn't beat it. That one. Well, that one. For this one to be ranked higher than this one, this would be a big number removing itself from this and making this. I think these two, I still feel like these two have to be the same. I really do. I'm probably being a bit dense there. Look, there's a 2 on this one. So that can't be the biggest one. And there's a 4 on this one. So this one can't be the biggest one. What about that one? Could that be a big one? Yeah, maybe that one could be a large. No, look at that. Right. This one has a 2 in one of these cells by Sudoku in box 5. So this, obviously that 2, there is no 1 around that. So this number begins with a 2. So it is axiomatically not greater than this one. So I think this is a very big number. I think this is a very big number. Now, if that was a 5, that can't be a 5. That's such nonsense. This definitely can't be 5, because that would imply that there are ranks 6, 7, 8, and 9 that are bigger than it, and yet the smallest digit in here would be a 5. Would be a 6, sorry. And we know that all of these have lower digits in them, so that can't be 5. It can't be 6 for the same reason. Now, could it be 8? I think this, yeah, I think probably I have to work upwards like this. If this was 8, we know that the lowest digit on here is 5, which means that all of these are definitely, well, no, that doesn't work. It doesn't work in the top row, because none of these can be 9. Because if they are 9, it implies they have a higher rank than this digit, the lowest digit of which is a 5, and all of these dominoes, if we examine them carefully, this one has a 1 on it, that one has a 2 on it, this one has a 2 on it, that one has a 2 on it, and this one has, this one has a 3 on it. Let's be clear about that. My pencil marks were misleading me. And that one has a 4 on it. So there's no way. So that is 9, and now we know what the highest digit is. 7, 8, 5, 6, 9, aha, right, 8, 9. Let's see if Sudoku saves us, does anything for us. It probably won't, but we'll try. 9 comes out of all of these cells. Does that help us? 6 I can place in the row from somewhere or other. Yeah, this is interesting. So this is the biggest number, and we know that that is the number 5, 6, 7, 8. So this can't be higher ranked than 9. Hang on, let's just be careful. So if this was rank 7, well, it can't be rank 5. It just can't be, because this would then be higher than that one. So this one is definitely not 5. So that's a 7, 8, 9 triple, which means this is 5 in the corner. This is 8. That's no longer 8 for what that's worth, which is probably not much. Now, if this was 7, this number would be 5, 6, 8, 9, which is bigger than that one again, because that's 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's not right. Yeah, so that is 9, and it is the same as this one, which is, I think, well, what I thought was going to happen, but actually proving it proved rather more difficult than I was expecting. Now, what are those digits? Let's actually work that out. These are 5, 6, and 7. And now, okay. And then what do we do now then? Oh, 5 here in the corner. That's good. That gets this to be a 3, which is the same. Oh, this is lovely. So this is the same composition of digits as that composition, which is 1, 4, 7, 8. So this has to be 1, 4, 7, 8, and that has to be 8. Oh, that's ridiculous. So this is a 1, 7 pair. This is now an 8 by Sudoku. That's a 5 by mathematics. 1, 7. That's a 9, I think. Those two digits are 5 and 9 by Sudoku. These digits are 2, 6, 7 by Sudoku. And that isn't 2. So there's a 6, 7 pair in this column, and these digits at the top of column 4 are a 1, 8 pair. Right, so what does that mean? That means that this is, which is rank 2, is 1, 1, 4, 8. 1, 1, 4, 8. And then we've got 1, 4, 7, 8 for 3. 4. Yes, so now how could 2 be here? If 2 is here, this number is 1, 2, and then something else, but it's definitely lower than this one in the rankings, and yet it's bigger than that. So you can't put the 2 there. The 2 shifts across. This becomes a 2, 3 pair. This is a 2 now. Oh, and I've deadlied it. So this must be wrong. Ah, no, hang on. Hang on, I'm okay. I'm okay. I thought I got deadly pattern, and I do. Well, on the face of it, it looks like that is deadly. Let me just explain why this would be a terrible, terrible error. It's because, imagine the puzzle was finished and you're just left with these cells to fill. Then how would you decide whether the 6s went in those 2 and the 7s were here, or the 7s went in these 2 and the 6s were here? The point is, you'd still have a 6 and a 7 in this row and this row. You'd still have a 6 and a 7 in these 2 boxes, and you'd still have a 6 and a 7 in the 2 columns. There'd be nothing about the internal logic of the puzzle that would determine the order. But I'm now realizing it's to do with this, isn't it? This circle is going to have a rank from here that's going to tell us what this digit is, I presume. I really hope that's true, otherwise I've totally messed this up. And that would be a bad thing. Right, that digit's not an 8. So the 8. The 8 in the top row is right over here, which is slightly surprising because there's a 4 in its circle. And in fact, what is the rank of this one? It's 4 or 7. into this cell. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Well, it's there must, if this was a 4, then the composition of digits around here needs to be identical to the composition of digits around there. And that means we need to put an 8 around here. And we can't, because that can't be an 8. So that's got to be a 7, I'm going to claim, which resolves the 7 down here, the 8 here. This becomes a 4. 4, 1, 1, 8, 8, 8, 7. And hopefully that's going to help us to go a little bit further. So this is now 7. So it's going to have the same composition as one of these. I mean, I suppose we could have 2 2s around something. It's not absolutely impossible. Oh, this isn't 5. This column is 6, 7, and 9. And that's not 7. In fact, that's not 7, is it? So that's a 6, 9 pair in this column. And that's the 7. Okay, that will be huge. That must be a crucial step, because now what we've just learned is that this composition is the same as this composition. Now those 2 digits are shared. In fact, no, these 2 digits are no, hang on, let's do some shading just to show you what I mean. Let's get rid of the purple. So this rank is shared with this rank. These 2 are common, so we can ignore those. So these 2 digits have to be the same. So that's got to be a 2, and this is going to resolve my deadly pattern, because that's got to be 6 now, and there's no room for a 9 around here. So that resolves my deadly pattern. This becomes a 3. This becomes a 5. This becomes a 6. This becomes a 6, this becomes a 5, this becomes a 9. Now, what do we need? 2 and 5 across here. Somehow not resolved, very suspicious. And these 2 squares are 3 and 9. I mean, the good thing is the Sudoku seems to be working, so we're probably not a million miles away from the right solution. 3, 9, 9, 5, 5, 2. In fact, oh, hang on. The Sudoku's finished itself, which I didn't think was going to happen. Right. So, okay, let's get rid of some of this shading. We're going to have to check that we've got the right ordering. Now, so we've looked at 2 already. 3 was 1, 4, 7, 8. 4, 1, 6, 8, 9. That is bigger. 5 doesn't have a 1 around it, so it's obviously bigger. And is that one, isn't it? So that's 2, 2, 3, 9. 6 is 2. That's higher. 2, 3, 5, 9. 7. Oh, goodness, look at that. 2, 3, 5, 9 versus 2, 3, 6, 9. That is quite close, isn't it? And then this one, 2, 3, 6, 9, is also the same. And then 8 doesn't have a 2 around it, so that's bigger. That one... Oh, that one had to have rank 3, which I think we checked earlier. 1, 4, 7, 8. Yeah, that's great. It's brilliant. It's an absolutely brilliant puzzle. And it's correct. And I loved that. That was really interesting. Very unusual logic in the best ways. I mean, i.e., not, it didn't require several A4 sheets of rules. It was just very elegantly done and really cool to solve. So fill the hat. Well done. I don't know if you were mistaken for the peddling pianist, but I think in future people might have to imitate your style. I loved that. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.